Hey, welcome back. Just tried DIY here, and today, we got a 2010 Nissan Altima, and had some brake issues with this. Came to me, I got a bug flying in my face here. Came to me, said, hey, when you put it in neutral and you're just sitting idling on a flat ground, it won't pull. There's nothing. It's a mosquito. They're terrible. It won't even pull ahead. You got to really, not even just, you got to give it a little bit of gas and then it wants to go. So honestly, I kind of questioned that a little bit. I drove it. Yep, sure enough, even sitting out here in the driveway, no throttle at all. Put it in drive, and it didn't even want to creep. It didn't want to do anything until you had to start actually giving it just a little bit of gas, and you could kind of feel like the passenger side was kind of holding you a little bit. And sure enough, we went ahead and took things apart, and I'll show you. Here's the brake pads that are left on that side. Now, sure, of course, it's like, oh, the brake pads are all worn out. Something's going on here. Well, the problem was then I went over to the passenger side and took a look at those. Those are almost brand new. So there's a problem with this side of the car. Something's going on. So first of all, went ahead. We took off. Get your tip down here. There we go. Took everything off, got the thing out here, and first thing I did was I got my caliper compressor here, and I tried to turn that thing in, and I can't get it to move. I could not get this thing to move at all. So I went and got my bleeder. I loosened it a little bit. Sure enough, caliper went right in. So I think what we're looking at here right now is possibly a problem with something in this brake line. So that's what we're going to focus on today. We're going to get the brake line replaced and get new brake pads put on it, get everything. And then I'm going to go ahead and try and get the slides and everything all greased up back here in the back and just kind of do a little bit of maintenance to this side and hopefully get everything squared back up and good to go again. So that's and I'll show you, I've had one other time where it happened, and sure enough, when you take this brake line off right here, you would think it should start leaking fluid out, and it did not leak here. And this is where I'm going to start right here. I'm going to take this one off, and we'll see if any fluid leaks out. If it does not, then we still have a clog or some kind of issue, because once that pressure comes in, it should squeeze on the pads. But when you let off of the brake pedal, it should release that pressure. Right now, it's not releasing that pressure. So it's either in the caliper itself or in the brake line, or, God forbid, all the way back at the master cylinder or something like that. But we're going to start with the simple stuff up front here. Make sure these work. I did, when I found out before, like I said, when I took it off at the caliper, no fluid came out. Once I took it off up here at the top, that brake line, that flexible brake line, all of a sudden we started leaking again. And that's when I knew, yep, okay, there's a problem in that brake line itself. So we're going to go ahead and prove that today. Make sure that's what the issue is again. Well, not again, but in a different car, different situation, whatever. But might be a little tricky to diagnose, but definitely something you can fix yourself. So a few wrenches, we can get her done. So I'm going to go ahead and start taking things apart, and I'll show you as we get there if I find anything new. All right, so like I said before, take it off here at the caliper, and there's nothing leaking there whatsoever. And then to test out the caliper, we'll make sure that it does release back. And sure enough, as soon as I start pushing this, I can screw this back in, no problem now. A little bit of brake fluid leaking out, we'll get that cleaned up. But we need this pushed back so we can get the new pads in here anyway. Now that we got caliper pressed back to where it needs to be, we'll get back to that in a minute. But now we need to look at trying to get the brake line taken off up here. There's a couple of clips. A screwdriver can pull those out. This just sets in there. This one up here, you'll need a brake line or line wrench to be able to take those out. yeah, let's go ahead and get on that one. All right, I want to show you guys this right here. I don't know if you can see that dripping. Good sign that our problem was right here in this brake line. And of course, we already got brake fluid running out of here. We're going to try and get that tied up here as high as we can. All right, so we got everything all put back together. And all the, oh yeah, one thing I wanted to remind you, see those little copper sleeves that come with the brake line? You want to replace those in there? It's a little crush. I think they're little crushed copper washers. And there we go. We got everything back together. Everything's tightened up. We don't have anything leaking anymore. Definitely going to hit this with some brake clean, get everything all cleaned up. But last thing to do is bleed the brakes. That's a whole nother issue. You're going to need another person probably, unless you have a kit to do it. But I'll be calling on my son to help me out. So hopefully this helped you out diagnosing your next issue with some brake issues on this 2010 Nissan Altima. And save me probably, well, save the owner a few $100 probably by taking it to a shop, diagnosing, figuring it out yourself. Simple wrenches, get the job done yourself right there in your driveway or whatever you got in the garage. Hopefully this helped you out, guys. Check you guys later. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you guys next time. See ya.